bring into this fight.
Well, what are you wanting to do first?
Well, I figured coordinating resources, if there's any time left after the merging negotiations, would be the most obvious.
Yes, I would like to speak to them. Me and Crow would like to speak to them about their technology. Specifically shielding. Everything else we'll talk about later. We'll have an exchange.
What specialists do they have? What vehicles, or guys who know how to use vehicles that don't have vehicles, do they have?
We know they have a tech crew, which is nice.
What kind of ordnance do they have to play with?
Okay. Okay. So, which person in particular are you wanting to talk to about that?
Well, I would assume ask Boss Man, and if he doesn't know, does he have like a quartermaster specialist that would know, or a chief military commander that would know? Ask him who the appropriate person to talk to is.
Okay. You will actually find him. Da, 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 da. Give me. Where's this? Where? Man, love that. Love that app. Yeah, you actually find them back at the settlement.
Mm-hmm.
Ash is not there. And Demetrius out there. They're at the rendezvous point. Or at least heading that way. And Ken at the moment is not there. Okay. Ishar will be with him, brooding. She's brooding in a corner. She has her hood up. She's like leaning in where the walls meet. She is awake though. You can certainly tell that. Crush, on the other hand, when you arrive, was finishing up ordering people to new positions and informing them of various things. You pick up bits and pieces about some Sotal groups of Sotal being sent to what amounts to cross training. Few of the people from, again, the tidbits you've heard will be moving more into farming, which is fortunately what they're planning on doing anyway once they had laid claim to this area, which clearly did not go according to plan.
Nobody's disputing their rights to be here. We're just, asking them to be considerate in their fence placement.
It's like a mile in our property. No, it's not.
Your fence goes through my living room.
Oh, then I guess that part of the living room is mine then. Too bad for you. I get the TV. Okay. Yep. He is still recovering from some of his wounds. He can still move around and stuff like that. He's still a little bandaged up. And I do believe that Rory is here with you, yes? Yes, not seeing it on the map proper. Let me drop.
He said he wanted to come and discuss tech, so yeah.
Yeah, and also bring along the toolbox that so they can have actual sense make the job better because we had talked about the you had asked if I had the toolbox which would actually have real replacement stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rory would have that and be like, "Hey, as part of it, he just talked to Tech. He's like, hey, this is the stuff you actually need to make it much more better."
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yep. I believe you said you had to leave in a little bit?
Yeah, I'm actually being summoned right now, but as said, I can. You all can just tag me whenever, so I shall. I'll be on call. Catch y'all later.
Yeah. Huh. And as you can see, I'm in the middle of doing some reorganizing.
I see that.
Any word from the scouting team yet?
Not yet, but they've still got a little bit of time. Approach the table and show of respect. Again, the pistols, with the handles facing the dude, and actually take off the helmet and put that on the table.
Okay.
But I figured while they were doing that, we could do some coordination of our own, and it break the monotony of the integration talks and go over what resources we have to work with. I've got 2 space transports for moving personnel and equipment, but I don't know what ordnance, equipment, personnel, vehicles, anything like that specialists, pilots, whatever that you might have that we could employ for whatever we're going to run into over there.
We have a good number of soldiers. Some do include pilots, though we don't have anything to fly at the moment. However, I know now that I've had some time to rest, I do recall where some are.
Well, we could take some time to retrieve those then, or unless they're back at the battle site, in which case we can set up a spec ops team to go retrieve them when we get there. We can bring to bear again, like I said, we have a 1 first order command shuttle. We have our transport ship that you've seen us use a couple times. I've got access to 4 combat air speeders because I don't know, I misplaced one in combat that was unnecessary. And access to 2 modified combat walkers.
We have a number of speeders and trolleys that can ferry a fair amount of people around. Those could be used as impromptu personnel carriers. In addition, we have a backup shielding tower, though I'm not sure what condition it's currently in.
Rory, Reset, you want to go look at that while we figure out the rest of this? Oh look, they've been written out of the scene. It's magical. That's how you write someone out of a scene, JC.
Okay. turn that off. Okay. What else do we have? The number of land speeders we do have could be refit with weapons. The majority of our actual vehicular power was currently in combat when we left.
Okay. Well,
What we do have in a large amount, however, is our soldiers.
well, our ships are capable of moving a ridiculous amount of soldiers, and have the lift capacity to move the vehicles we have access to. If we take the X-wing out of the hangar, we can probably move a bunch of your speeders too. I don't know how many you want to refit for combat and bring over there versus leaving here to defend yourselves. Because obviously we don't want to leave, here naked. Not that I'm expecting any trouble. But...
I wouldn't expect any trouble here either. Anyway, in terms of personnel, I can bring to bear 700 to 800 combat ready.
We should be able to move that. I assume your people don't mind being packed in close quarters for a short jaunt.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Outside of space transports, it really is a short jaunt. Okay. I assume all of these people are, equipped.
Yes.
Okay. That's it, because we do have access to some first order ordnance, weapons, armor, that kind of stuff. If you need, to stock up on stuff that you may or may not be lacking.
He'll wave a dismissing hand.
From what we saw in the fight, you guys are actually fairly well armored, despite not looking at that personal shielding technology that you guys were packing was especially impressive. That's what more that's lying around for, use.
We have the materials for it. We just don't usually integrate it into our heavier armors.
Well, if you don't mind, myself and my tech guy would like to take a look at that stuff. Even if we don't actually use the stuff you have, just understanding how it worked, if that's not a... It's like that personal shield you had and that, portable bubble or whatever it was, both feel like they'd be real handy in a pinch.
Well, we can use it for the effort. If you want to actually have it, I'll need to discuss that with the Catheme Elder.
I don't foresee him having an issue, but I will respect your wishes and, let you two hash that out. We would like access to the technology if it, doesn't offend anybody. If it's, if there's some cultural significance or personal identity thing that, letting an outsider have it would not be acceptable, we also respect that.
Only from the standpoint of secrecy, but you already know about us. Yeah. As for taking the fight back to Soyon, I'll need to inform the orders we're taking, and I'd like you to inform your own team that during the fight we're not going to yet mention the absorption to the people already in the field.
We can do a joint briefing policy thing on that, no problem. Okay, in which case, are you the one coordinating the combat efforts, or is there some commander I should be talking to for finer details?
No, I'll be coordinating the efforts.
Oh, nice to be on the same side for once.
But you certainly fought like you could take on an army by yourself.
Johnny Two-Man Swiss Army gun.
Don't mind Dimitri being your yes man.
Dimitri's not there.
He's not there right now,
Yeah.
but he's been the yes man that whole time you were just sleeping or whatever.
Alright, in which case, I guess we will go down to, the inventory and the specialists, and, deferring to his expertise on who to bring and just letting him know what we have available if they wish to use it.
Minus one broken Banshee that may or may not still be salvageable.
I don't know about that yet.
I can't wait until until he finds out about that, because I know what will probably happen. You're replacing it.
Yep. You keep what you kill and replace what you break. That is the Mando way. Well, my interpretation of the Mando way.
You understand you'll have to baby step Dimitri for rebuilding that thing.
Nope. I hand you the Lego blueprints, and you go from there. Part of the lesson is you learn, you having to do it without help. That way, you'll think better about breaking it in the future.
But it wasn't me that broke it.
You were in charge of the team, therefore it's your fault.
Dimitri's okay with this, but you still understand Dimitri's going to look at you like a lost puppy when it does finally happen.
I'm holding you to the same standard I hold myself and everybody else.
I'm aware of that.
I'd say if Sky broke my droid, she'd have to do the same thing.
I know. I'm concerned when this is gonna happen.
I crashed the Raider, I have to replace it. This is it.
I don't think you'll be able to crash the Raider and keep us and us still be alive at least.
I don't know. You'd be surprised how many D6 Star Wars scenarios call for the ship to crash and explode, but everybody walks away just fine.
Yeah, a depressing amount actually.
It is not good to be a spaceship in D6 Star Wars.
Nope.
You don't even
story-related spaceship, even.
Yeah, it's like Knights of the Old Republic 2. You just crash. That's how the scenario starts. Doesn't care how many dice and piloting you have. You just crash.
You just crash. Doesn't matter whether it's your ship or not.
You're talking about how the ship is being attacked and is going through the atmosphere, breaking up, and all that.
Sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's just you crash, navigation failure or something.
Yeah.
Just you start on the planet. You don't remember anything, but your ship crashing.
You start crashing. And it's like, okay, you finish Module 1, you're going to Module 2. As you transition out of hyperspace to return to base or whatever, the hyperdrive just randomly explodes, and now you're crashing.
It's like engine failure, a cutscene description of the ship being shot up.
I was like, yeah, they usually give you a cutscene or something where the GM just tells you you're getting your ass kicked, but...
A random malfunction.
Oh, God.
Or as Triss said, you're in media res, you're in the middle of crashing. The engines are foobar, you're spinning, make some token rolls, you crash.
You take your life in your hands if you pick a template that starts with a ship, because the game will try to kill it. And not give you a chance to roll for a save.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet for your X-Wing.
Well,
you notice how my X-Wing has never taken off?
And
That's a good point.
And I try to avoid...
Yeah, it's like David actually respects the ship as the idea of your ship as a character, so we don't pointlessly kill it.
It's like the times when I use those is I normally have there be some reason that they're not using their personal ship.
It's like he'll break a part, and then you have to fix the part.
Yeah. It's like, it gets you down there, and it's not something that you can immediately fix unless you have the adventure. You get the part, you come back, you fix it.
Like, I think the one I remember, he cracked a fuel rod or something, so he didn't have enough gas to take off, but the ship was still fine.
Except for all the fuel that's all over the place and explosive.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Well, this was pre-Disney, so...
Oh, that's a good point. Still a health issue, but not explosive.
Yeah,
or at least dangerously explosive.
So basically what we did is we found the ship that the module gave you to leave the planet with, took the fuel rods out of it and put it in our ship and left. Module was completed as intended, we just didn't lose our ship.
Yep.
So, onwards.
Yep.
Okay.
I believe he said, the vehicles he said he knew where to find, I'm guessing are on the battlefield or near the battlefield.
He'll press a few buttons on the table. And...
Yeah.
I'm
guessing they're at the Pentagon.
I have to move myself.
Because those look suspiciously like landing pads.
The hollow image of the area, the buildings and some of the surrounding area will go wireframe.
As you do.
Just Dimitri magically being somewhere in the frame somehow.
I see you're still using the Quest World OS.
Ah, yes. The
We prefer Maya ourselves, but you know, this...
the mountain range also goes wireframe. You will see a particular area of it with looks like it contains something.
something.
Sorry, Dimitri does not know of this. He cannot see in the mountains. He does not have X-ray vision.
I technically do, but it doesn't do anything.
I don't think you have X-ray vision to see through mountain.
Probably not something that dense, no.
We had we were working on an expansion to the city into the into the mountain range. Behind the waterfall there is the beginnings of a training facility for various work crews, along with a ground-based hangar deck. We were putting fighters in there as the expansion was going on, unless something has happened to them. I'm recalling 2 to 3 fighters should be in there.
Classification? Are they a model unique to your people, or are they one of the more common models?
They're superiority fighters. They were designed to defend the city in case an assault happened.
Okay, so they are something, you know, from your people versus, say, the Republic's A-Wing.
Okay. No, it's not. It's not anything like that.
And they're combat air speeders or starfighters?
The designs classified them as starfighters. I wasn't personally involved in any of the designs.
Oh, fair enough. Just, you know, like I said, classification. So, you know, just so we knew how much oomph they had.
They have all the DACA.
Looking at that mountain range, how easy would it be? Would we actually have to land one of the ships there to get your people in, or could they get in on their own via speeders? If we, you know, diverted everybody's attention elsewhere.
Assuming the large-scale battle is still going on, I wouldn't see how the mountain range would be unobserved, at least to some degree. I'm unaware of any good landing spaces outside of the hangar opening itself. However, it's certainly traversable by foot and walkers.
Okay, so we don't necessarily need to bring the ships over there and draw attention to them. You know, if we put the ships somewhere else, they'll likely be enough of a distraction. All right.
There's a ridge that should have some defense towers there as well, assuming the First Order hasn't taken them out yet. I know several of them were already taken out by the time we had left.
Do you have anybody in the camp that actually did work in or near that facility that would know the terrain?
Very likely. I'll need to look through and see who we have that was assigned to what.
Okay. Because, you know, they'll probably be a valuable guide getting the people, you know, the pilots and whatever in there. Operating under the assumption that they're probably going to need a little bit of prep work. I'm guessing we probably want to send in a couple mechanics and maybe, I don't know, do you guys have gunners, artillery specialists, you know, somebody who could use the fixed defenses once we get into the facility, assuming they're still online?
Yeah, we have people that can do that. The expansion itself was primarily designed with cover being uh, its best defense.
Well, and I understand that, but you had mentioned it was armed, so.
There's a ridge that has defense towers.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. I was like, assuming the towers on the ridge have not been taken out, we could, if you had artillery specialists, we could get them up to those towers. And
Yes. Yes.
because operating under the assumption the FO is going to have air support of their own, we're going to want somebody to be able to cover the hangars while the fighters are launching.
See, we could also get people into the chasm if they're good climbers, because we were using it as a source of clean water and hydroelectric power. So there's plenty of things to climb on if you have the right gear to. I doubt the First Order has given any care to going down anywhere, especially if the bridge is intact and if they can just drop people.
What are you thinking after you get them into the chasm?
There are several areas that could be entered to surreptitiously go into the city instead of being out in the open. We could also take the opportunity to see how disrupted power is. I'll assume that the military academy has already used all or most of their anti-air resources. Assuming, of course, the siege is still even going on.
Well, I mean, better hope it is. Otherwise, this is about to be an entirely different style of fight.
Let's see.
Okay, so we want one team to enter the mountain, another team to see to the catacombs. And then I guess the rest are just general gropos.
If you have a good enough droid programmer, our farmers are assisted by agricultural droids. They could be repurposed as impromptu fighters.
What do you have on your agricultural droids that would make them competent fighters?
Aside from strong actuators, there are tools to thresh wheat, cut down branches and other obstructions. I was looking at it from the standpoint of getting more forces in the field. Not necessarily their competency level, just having more targets.
True. Well, unfortunately, at least in our unit, the only one who passes for a passable droid programmer is myself, and I'll probably be in the air. Rory might be able to fake it, but my thought for him was sending him into the catacombs.
Just so David's sure about when you say the catacombs, are you referring to the
crevasse and the tunnels under that either go into the power plant or under the city.
Okay.
The network of tunnels, aka a catacomb.
Oh, I get that. But the expansion was mentioned earlier too, which is in like a mountain.
Yeah, there's also the expansion. I'll let Greg pick which one he feels would he be better useful for, but in my head, I envision him being more useful in the catacombs than I do getting the fighters off the ground.
Okay.
Just like I also mentioned, sending Dimitri down there, since athletics and climbing is kind of the scout team's thing, and
Right.
off the top of my head, sending Sierra into in there also so that she can head into the city and start helping people makes sense. But again, I'll let her decide whether she feels more useful there or on the actual field.
Let's see. If the building's still intact, there were a few walkers that were being worked on. If we could get access to the factory, some of my men could finish the process.
Where's the factory?
The
Military academy itself, I assume.
And would that be again through the tunnel network, or would that have to be a separate?
the tunnel network will certainly get you into the city and into the power station itself. I believe there's one that leads to the academy.
But I was referring to the factory. Where you said the other walkers might be.
He'll make some adjustments on his holo table. Well, the factory is over here.
Okay, so it is a separate facility, and it will not likely be part of the tunnel network.
He'll bring up the tunnel network. Goes multiple places.
Alright, it looks like if we increase the size of the unit heading for the hidden expansion, they can caravan together and then break off one unit going for the hidden expansion, the other going for the Walker factory, using the mountain line as cover. And we want to make as much noise in the southern sector as possible in order to get them to turn their attention that way, thus increasing the mountain team's odds. While we're doing that, another team enters the chasm to, I guess, check out the power station, and then let them decide whether they want to make for the city or the academy based on information gathered from there. I missing anything?
Oops.
You mentioned the factory, the academy, the hidden, and then dealing with as many of the forces on the south side of the bridge as possible.
Well, dealing with the south side of the bridge is what the main force will be doing, so that people aren't looking at the Walker factory or the hidden expansion. Because if a decent-sized assault force is coming up from the south, they should turn around to look and deal with it.
Especially when Dimitri tells you about how far their patrols are.
That reminds me. The hollow will also be showing. Looks like a minefield.
I was about to say, did you accidentally turn on Minesweeper? Are those remote IFF? Good old-fashioned pressure plate.
The minefields are usually deactivated. The frequencies we normally use to activate them were jammed when the First Order had arrived. At least that's what my advisors told me. What I know for certain is that they weren't going off.
Well, if they were jammed, then
That command shuttle.
Well, no, the Raider should be able to get through that. It has anti-jamming equipment.
Oh yeah, that's right. We took it off the command shuttle and put it on the Raider. That's right.
Well, we took some of it off. The Raider had some of its own also.
I just remember the command shuttle having a whole bunch of it.
The command shuttle could jam. The Raider has anti-jam.
Oh.
So we can switch those back on. That'll even the odds a bit. I'll have to make sure my people know where they're placed, though. Don't want anybody on the ground accidentally stepping on their own mines.
Yes.
That's what I was asking if they had an IFF or it was just, basic trigger. Sometimes they have droid brains, sometimes they don't.
They are. They're equipped to detect if a Citol is near.
By what means?
Ishnar will speak up from her corner. From what I heard when I was talking with a few people back before the invasion, it's something about us in particular. I assume they're equipped with some form of high-end medical scanners.
So it's a genetic marker.
So let's get.
I'll have to talk to Sky. She might be able to whip up a temporary fake for that. If not, well, I know where they are now, so I can just put them on everybody's IFF and they don't step there.
Or near them.
Alright. Well, it sounds like we have the loose workings of a plan anyway. We can refine details when Dimitri gets back. Meantime, I'll bring what ordnance we actually have here over, and any of your pilots that want to familiarize themselves with our equipment before going in, since we have the walkers and stuff that they may want to use.
Very well. I do want to inform you that I don't have all of the information here on this table. There are likely sages in the field or at the academy that may know of things that I don't.
Okay, well. So people on the battlefield that we won't be able to talk to until we get there.
Correct.
Okay. Well, let's work off what we know then, and we can revise the plan when we get there and run into somebody who knows more. It's a fairly simple plan anyway right now, considering it's just sneak people in the back and throw lots of people at the front.
And the side. Can't forget the side.
Not throwing anybody at the side.
The artillery placements.
Not talking about the artillery placements there. He was talking about the ones up by the hidden expansion.
Oh.
Ishnar will frame it off again. You see, those sound like tactics I can get behind.
Well, plans never survive contact with the enemy anyway, so they don't, no point in making elaborate plans and wasting your time.
Trish will change a few settings on the table, and the grid mode will turn off. No. I'll gather my people and get the speeders we have refit with what weapons we have available.
Mm-hmm.
And you really believe you can transport around 700 people?
Given the size of our ships and the fact that they don't mind being friendly, it might take us 2 trips, but yeah, I think we can transport that many if we're packed to the gills.
Oh, he'll nod.
I say the trickier part will be moving the speeders because that's an extra trip probably by itself. But again, we've got time while we're waiting. We can just move it all to the rendezvous point, and then when the scouts catch up to us, we'll be set. Also helps that one of our ships is equipped with hard points, so we can just lock shit to the wings.
That would certainly make things easier.
Cargo pods. Cargo pods work wonders.
Okay.
And don't
I assume you're not talking about the command ship.
No, I'm talking about bringing the command shuttle too.
No, I'm talking about the hardpoint part.
No, the Raider's what has the hard points. No, both of them are capable of locking cargo pods to the belly. That's a common feature.
That I was just asking specifically about the wings because that just made me think for a second. The way those wings were on the command ship doesn't really work for that.
Depends on what you're sticking on there. If you're not putting bombs on there and just putting pods of some kind, it works fine.
Do you want to? I think you would need the crane to get them off when the things landed.
You're gonna need a crane to get them on any vehicle.
I'm talking about a multi-story building crane, with a.
Tractor
The Raider
beams.
can't be that bad.
Depends on the freighter. And again, tractor beams.
That's true.
Don't forget to bring the fun toys.
I keep forgetting that tractor beams are an easy thing in this world. I know they're a thing, but...
So, the resistance, ferry surface now opens as we're moving shit to the rally point.
And begins mixed news session with Dimitri.
Get reset to blow the dust off the X-Wing because we're actually going to need it.
Yeah, I as a GM was wondering if you were going to be using.
Yes, I'm going to address the oversight of the Battle of Hoth. X-Wing versus AT-AT.
Yeah,
Hell, X-Wing versus anti-speeder weapons in general. Because everything there is speeder-based besides the scimitars.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, with a scale system, hitting a speeder from a starfighter is a little bit of a bitch.
It is, but I'm just talking about. At least you're going to be relatively safer from damage because everything is speeder scale. Besides the scimitars.
And there's a couple of TIE fighters on the map too.
Nope. Oh wait, there are. I just forgot the TIE fighter existed for a while. I was recalling the airspeeder TIEs.
Yeah.
Oh, was it the Strikers?
Mm-hmm.
Which are evil. They have bombs.
This is the NCID era. All TIEs have bombs now.
That's right. Disney threw a little bit grim dark logic into it.
It's like TIE fighters now have shields and missiles.
Of course.
And hyperdrives. And some of them have a tail gunner.
Okay, that's a bit much. Shields and hyperdrives?
Mm-hmm.
I could see one or the other on a TIE.
Well, keep in mind the TIE Advance and the TIE Defender.
And I'd say the old universe did it too. It was just the Gen 1 TIEs that didn't. In theory, after the Battle of Yavin, the Empire went, oh, fuck, fighters are useful, and then you have a whole bunch of models that got shields and hyperdrives that, never saw beyond limited production.
Yeah, you could thank Papa Palpatine for deciding to tank the economy for Death Stars and Super Star Destroyers.
Well, when you're sinking so much money into the pilots to make them,
That too.
I
forgot.
Green Beret, awesomeness. You don't need shields.
I mean,
when one TIE fighter pilot can cannibalize a small army out of a crashed fighter, you don't need a.
I'm not disagreeing with that. But there's a difference when there's a remotely equal skilled pilot against him that has shields. Just saying. So on the updated news, Dimitri will be at 8:20.
820, huh?
I would make a 420 joke, but can't really do that. It's not that time.
It is not yet time.
Now, sadly, I can't take the puppy with me, so he'll have to go with Sky wherever he goes.
Kerf.
Can't the puppy actually fit in the X-Wing? Like, just... Wait, no, that would be a bad idea.
According to Disney, yes. Yes, he can, because Disney has decided X-Wings have folding seats behind the pilot now.
Yeah, apparently, for some reason.
What?
Yes, thanks to Star Wars Resistance, we now know there's a seat behind the pilot in an X-Wing.
Now, that being said, I want to be specific. I believe it's that model of X-Wing, correct?
It's the
Courier one?
No, it's not a Courier. It's the new model, the T70, T80.
Right. Yeah. It's not the old Alliance model.
Yeah, it's the New Republic model. Sadly, I do not have the New Republic model. I've got old school.
Aw.
Though, as I recall, they have basically the same stats. The only thing I don't get, and I can add this, is that stupid little drop gun.
I vaguely remember that thing existing.
As they added the same gun the Falcon has that comes down out of the belly and shoots anti-personnel.
Oh, they basically added a little machine gun turret that you control if you're like iPad.
Yeah.
Basically.
Something to give you covering fire while you're running to your ship.
But it's on a fighter.
Because they didn't do what the XJ did and add the third missile too, as I recall.
No, they don't.
Maybe that's what I should do in protest. Slowly modify mine over time to become an XJ.
Well, some of that will actually require some definite structural changes.
Why not just go for a full-blown E-Wing? Because wasn't the E-Wing just, like, better in everything?
No. The E-Wing was... It was billed as a replacement for the X-Wing. More realistically, as a replacement for the B-Wing. because it's heavily armored, but it's sluggish, and its weapons were meh at best.
So it's a slightly better B-wing.
It's a fighter bomber as opposed to a space superiority. And it also has that little issue of it can only work with one model of astromech droid.
True.
Oh yeah, that was a thing for the E-wing.
Also, the E-wing doesn't exist in Disney.
I know, sad.
Yeah.
So, so you guys are moving forces, stuff like that.
Make sure there's no squirrels stuck in the intakes on the X-wing fighter.
I think you need to worry about more than squirrels.
Is there anything in particular you're doing during this prep phase?
Let's see. I replaced my ordnance. We got the new probe bots. Familiarizing ourselves with the square tail tech we're allowed to play with. Familiarizing them with our tech. Don't want anybody taking unfamiliarity penalties on the walkers.
There should be a Sertal equipment section in your journals. The displacement technology is what needs to be actually integrated, which will take time. The shield batons you can just grab.
Shield batons. That's the thing you stand on the ground and have a physical shield.
Yeah, piton, not baton.
No, there isn't.
Sure.
I'm going through our shit.
I mean, I don't even see.
Do you have a Zenti folder?
No.
Oh, in Dantor, there is a Sotel system. It's so. Ugh.
Oh, okay.
I see it.
You buried it like 12 folders deep. Okay.
It is there though. I just found it.
It has no stats. It's just a picture.
No, it has.
No, if you click the name, the shield piton has a
Well, I just clicked the
5D plus 2 hex arc duration
Okay.
3 rounds.
The baton does. The displacer does not.
Oh, whoops! I know exactly why. I apparently typed that in the GM notes section.
Whoops. And through the power of editing, you shall see it all.
There you go. This does take up it does take up like a mod slot in your equipment though, for the displacement.
How long would it take to integrate?
It depends on what you're wanting to integrate it with.
Armor?
Hard armor, soft armor.
Well, I know Sierra wanted a set. Hers is semi-soft.
Wait, so what exactly does it do?
It's a plus 1d shield. Now, but I don't know if it counts as layered, or just adds 1d to the soak of the armor.
It adds 1d to the soak of the armor.
Okay.
For physical and energy?
Yep.
Dimitri would want one of those since he almost never wears armor.
But but it has to be integrated into armor.
Yeah, and it has provided it has all of its quote unquote batteries in place. It lasts 10 minutes
of continuous use. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like the light shields, albeit not quite as awesome stat-wise.
I mean, he wears less armor than everyone in comparison.
But because I don't think we'd have time to integrate it into Dimitri since this is being done while you're doing your scout mission.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying for later.
But I know Sky wanted a set, and she's got that, it's like soft armor with hard plates in places. So
Okay.
I'm guessing it's still soft armor. Crow wanted one, I know, and his is, again, based on what we saw in Clone Wars, soft armor with metal plates in places.
Yeah, but your metal plates is Beskar.
Yeah. Given how how everybody treats Rory like Keaton, we probably ought to put some in his. But we know plastic is hard armor. love to put it on the Tachikomas, but I know I can't get away with that.
Working with the Beskar will take them 8 hours.
Wait,
I
is
have a
Crow not gonna
specialization
wear
in
his
Mandalorian
armor for 8
repair.
hours?
Can I do it myself?
You could integrate it yourself. That would cut down the time.
I know Sierra has specialized in Jinsari, and I specialize in Mandalorian, so we could, if they'll let us, with their supervision, we can integrate it into our own armor.
Oh yeah, you'll need supervision to work with their stuff.
Okay.
In that case, could I get a armor roll from you?
I was gonna say, oh my god, is Crow gonna be outside of his armor for once? On screen?
I've been outside of my armor on screen before plenty of times.
Just not on the job.
Not on the job, and not when Dimitri's around, most of the time.
You've been around. I spent half the first episode out of my armor. Remember what the AT GT?
Oh yeah, the ATGT.
I missed
We
the
still need to
AT-GT.
do that. We can make an ATG cheat. Yeah.
Dirty 20.
Okay. You'll be able to reduce it to 4 hours.
Sweet.
Skies, unless she's doing it herself.
Knowing her, she'll want to do it herself.
Okay, then.
Because remember, to a Jinsari, their armor is like a lightsaber. To a Jedi, you don't let other people.
No touchy. If you want your hand.
And assuming they're cool with it, I will grab a pair of shield batons.
Yeah.
I hope you can hand some of those to Dimitri.
He
Please.
can collect his own when he gets back. They'll probably be in the crates at the site.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure. Because things that say I have more soaker is great for me.
Well, the shield baton just gives you a barricade.
I consider it more soak because it's a physical wall between me and whatever's shooting me. Which in my definition is good enough.
I am now Mando Chief.
You're one step closer to that, what was the name of the armor?
The Mjolnir?
Yeah, the Mjolnir.
I actually have more crap in here, almost more crap in here than the Mjolnir did.
If only Crow had inspiration to make ghost armor.
No, the goal of the campaign is to have Mandalorian-based ghost armor by the end of it. I'm going to be trying to get most of the crap that's in the ghost armor into Mandalorian armor.
So you're definitely like one step closer. I don't know how many steps ahead you were already with the base armor, with what you've done. But you're definitely one step closer. You now have a shield generator in your armor.
As I actually took out the strength booster because the character felt it was cheating.
Screw strength boosters.
Well, one, it's cheating, and two, I can boost my own strength to higher than it could, so might as well save the slot for something useful, like personal shields.
Okay.
So how are the slots based off of? Because my armor is basic.
If your armor is basic, it has one slot. If we strip it down, it'll have 2 slots.
I forgot what stripping it down does, but you do actually lose things by stripping it down.
It depends on the item you're stripping. Like in the case of armor, it gives you a list of possible effects, and you pick one. Like you increase its dex penalty, or you compromise its soak versus a certain attack type, or something like that.
Okay.
Mm.
it does start with one slot automatically. So
Okay.
Would it be possible to take one part of one armor off and put it into another type of armor? Like the feature of that armor.
Yeah, potentially, depending on what the feature is, it is possible to move a feature from one armor to another. Like what we wanted to do with the flight systems on the Biker Scout helmet.
Cool. I won't keep us distracted. I'll ask more later.
There's an entire book dedicated to those.
Okay.
But it's very similar to the EOE system. Okay.
Okay. Yep. What we got then is things moving over. Keep it moving. Now,
Can
okay.
I take a baton and stick it into the front, stick it under the jetpack on the doggy? Would it put the barrier in front of him and he could just run with it?
Yeah, though, yeah, it would only last 3 rounds, but yeah.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. The dog moving cover, courtesy of Quinlan. Which would be terrifying in itself, because what happened... Wait, no. Star Wars does not do the whole... It's called plasma, you touch it, you will kill yourself.
Yep.
Because if they did, it's just like, oh, he's basically walking around with a lightsaber in the form of a barrier.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun going near the dog.
Okay. In terms of equipment, are you taking the Maquis walkers with you?
Mm-hmm. He said they have walker pilots, so I'd like to familiarize them with it. But yeah, the idea is to take the Maquis walkers. We are bringing all the Maquis vehicles, Tachikomas, Banshees.
Conveniently enough, the Banshees are already there, technically.
Not all of them.
And one of them's only a wreck. Like a 2 kilometer... 4... probably more than that. Like, 15 kilometers that way.
Yeah, but if it's destroyed, I can't salvage it.
It was only on fire, so...
It depends on the damage condition. I'd say if it hit the destroyed wound level, it's toast. I can't do anything with it.
I mean, there's a plenty of other speeder bikes that are damaged / destroyed over there.
Good, you can get to work.
Okay.
Dimitri would probably be preoccupied.
Dimitri, you've been at the rendezvous point for a little bit now. Things are in the process of being shipped in. And there were a number of boxes already here.
Hi, guys. Where do I need to go? Because I assume there's actually people here.
Yeah, there will be actual people. I just need one moment. Okay, Greg is not being very specific.
Good old Greg. Tristan.
What? That's from the Thrawn book.
I know. I know. That's why I'm laughing that you went to that one specifically.
He only had 2 plans that I remember. One is cloaking a ship and having it fire randomly and having another ship claim to do it. And the other one is cloaking rocks and calling them invisible lasers.
Oh, he's mentioning the Bataan one with the bombs. Isn't it the one where he basically took someone prisoner and strapped bombs to him? It was just purposely killing Imperials to get a message across.
Might have been.
But I mean, there's 3 Banshees. One's covered in a lot of missile damage, even though it's only light repulsor damage. I mean, it took like 4 volleys of missiles. Man, that Banshee must look like horrible. 4 sets of concussion missiles.
And it just walks by. It's like 1, 2, 3. You're replacing that. Just keeps on walking.
Are you even curious how well it did before it broke?
Nope. It's not here. You're responsible for replacing it.
You don't even want to hear the story.
Nope. You signed it out of the motor pool. I expect you to return it to the motor pool. Stories are just excuses in this case.
I mean, you don't want to know how well it did?
I know how well it probably did. I built it.
Are you even worried about the pilot of it? Who decided to do something?
3, 4, 5. Yep, all the scouts are back, so pilot's fine.
Pilot wasn't one of the scouts.
Everybody who went out on the scouting mission has come back.
I interpreted it as you were talking about the scouts themselves.
Is that like an invid or a tentacruel? What is that?
What? This?
Oh, it's a box. Looks like one of those like mid-tier invid thing.
You guys, you notice some additional things that you were not informed of. This?
I want it. As a person, Dimitri doesn't really care.
I say it's obviously inferior. It has wheels.
And a trio of these.
Oh my god. No way.
Actually wanted to salvage some of those so I can make the Yorha flight units from Nier Automata.
If it wasn't for the fact that David just put them in front of us, I would have said, good luck doing that. Those things should be gone by now.
No, they're still in common use.
I wouldn't say
What?
common use.
Star Wars does not get rid of tech.
Oh, that's right, because technically they've been slowly regressing in tech.
Well,
I'd say there are ship types that they use for like 150 years.
it's more like innovation is slow because things work.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm basing it off of what was the original trilogy, then comparing it to Clone Wars. I'm forgetting there was a 20-year difference between the 2 sets of movies.
Mm-hmm.
I keep forgetting that. Don't mind me. I'm not a true Star Wars fan, apparently. I don't have the Empire tattooed on my shoulder like my boss. Like, he has the sigil of the Empire on his shoulder. I'm not joking. He probably knows more about the EU to be rivaling the 2 of you combined, probably. Or at least one of you. He knows too much. It's creepy for being my boss.
Okay, ask him about Sinkhole Station.
Oh my god, I don't want to get into this. But sure. I'll have 2 hours of being basically sitting next to him tomorrow, so sure. We'll see where this goes.
Okay.
But back to topic. Where's Sky? Hash kind of needs attention.
Sky is probably in Mark mode slapping band-aids on people.
That's why I want to send Hash to Sky. Because Mark mode band-aids.
Sure. Okay. Well, you, Dimitri, see various Sertol vehicles being dropped in, cargo hidden in the lighter bits of the jungle.
As Crow walks past, I'll start following him. Because I'll be like, do you want the report now? Or do you want me just to follow you until later?
You, Crow, only see one Banshee.
What, the other two scouts didn't make it back?
Well, I mean, they have their stash.
Oh, okay. And have they reported in to let me know that they brought theirs back?
They're having lunch.
Okay.
They're not reporting to no one until after the lunch is done.
Lunch break is over.
As I get your information together, be ready to brief people at the command center. I was going to say command tent, then I realized we have 2 command ships. We probably actually have a legitimate command center. We don't need no stinking tent.
So
yeah, we have the Raider.
What's with the nut mecha?
Oh, you
modified walkers.
Nice.
Remember how I was always complaining about trying to get like locusts and like the more modern marauders?
No, because I don't know Mech Warrior and all that. Yeah, like you all talk about the blood packs and I'm like, okay, just have fun.
Yeah.
Remember the picture I showed you a few days ago that was of a walker?
There's a lot of pictures.
I can't. That's right. People post a lot of stuff in that chat. Never mind.
Yeah.
Those are our ATDP and ATPT.
Nice.
Codename Rakshasa and Marauder.
Sadly, it's not the 2.
Nice.
Still great though. Because Marauders are amazing at assault walkers, if I recall.
Is the Marauder the iconic one that's always on the box art?
No, that's the Mad Cat. Yeah, that's the Mad Cat.
Thank you for at least that clarification. I know enough for that.
Or is the Atlas? It's depending on those 2.
True.
5 is going to have the King Crab.
If it's the simulator games, it's usually the Mad Cat, with the exception of Mech Warrior 4, where they have the Black Knight. If it's the RTSs or the combat game, it's usually the Atlas.
And with 5 is going to be the King Crab.
Cookie. Wrong crab.
Yep, wrong crab.
Not best Pokemon's crab.
That crab was evil in Pokemon, just say.
Hey, that crab was God. The Vulpix may be my favorite, but that fucking crab took out legendaries.
My point exactly. It's fucking evil.
Not as funny as one of the Let's Plays I'm following, where they had a Tentacruel that literally killed God twice.
Oh, they fought Alcarius.
They fought Arceus.
Wait,
God.
twice?
He's playing it randomized. So you could run into literally anything in the grass, and enemy trainers could literally be packing anything.
Okay.
So basically, you're running into other Pokemon trainers like you
Yep.
who actually optimize.
Yep. It was most hilarious when he went to a preschool and all of the little kindergartners had legendary Pokemon.
We have God.
And it led to some little story gaps that were hilarious. Like he ran into the enemy team of the game, and it's like their whole thing is they're looking for God, and all of the grunts were packing God.
Well, because God was so common, I guess they don't think it's God.
Yeah, that was the joke. It's like, yeah, these guys are just so dumb. They didn't think they could actually catch God. So they're like, yeah, my Umbreon just looks weird, guys.
Oh, I don't have my favorite weather generator anymore, guys.
Yeah, but I also see we have Staps.
Yes, apparently the Soitol have Staps.
Stap is the wheeled APC, correct? No, Stap is the speeder bike
yeah.
thing.
It's the droid speeder bike thing, yeah.
Single trooper air. Shit, can't remember it.
I never
almost
called
had-
it by its actual name. I've always called it the droid speeder bike. I don't know why. That's how I've always thought of it.
But it's like, wait, you know what this means? They have separatist technology. You know what that means?
Oh, Rory, they gave us access to the personal shielding. So with 8 hours worth of work, you can gain plus 1d soak to your armor for 10 minutes. And then you have to recharge it.
It's like Life Day.
It's 4 hours work for him. He doesn't have Beskar.
Oh, well, okay.
Because their duration was trying to work with the Beskar.
Okay, so you can add it to your plastic armor. When it's turned on, you get 10 minutes of plus 1d soak.
Tarkin's going to be so... Not Tarkin. Mr. He probably got to it. Paldarin is going to be so jealous of what you did with his armor.
I know, right?
I took your armor and made it better.
We took your armor, and a bunch of gorillas in the woods made it better.
We also have the shield spikes.
We have the halo drops.
We have the halo spikes, drops. Yes.
Yes. But yeah.
And let's not forget, you basically have the shielding of the Melnir armor now.
But yeah. But because they have separatist technology, if that's what we're going for, like if that's legitimate separatist tech, that means Rory can come across that we can find separatist droids.
Are you
potentially?
You know what? Because of the way you're saying that,
got it from?
Those separatist droids have a listed price in the book. In theory, you can buy them.
Are you gonna ask where they got it from? Or?
I will ask later, because... Well, actually, yeah, I might as well. Where'd you get those from?
While he's handling that, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break.
Nice timing, Tristan, if you're not gone yet.
Because you see, I did read some books, and I do know that that's some real old tech, but...
the person you're talking to will look at you, put down a large barrel of a mug. As I understand it, it was trading with the Star Syndicate that was here before the First Order came.
Right.
So wherever they got it from.
Damn. Well, actually, no, this is Rory. Crap.
I mean, just saying, completely out of the game, and complete meta knowledge, that means the Syndicate got it from the war.
Most likely, along with, hypothetically, those very nice Star Viper starships.
Oh, you mean the Viper droid things?
No, the Viper droid... The thing you're thinking of are the Buzz droids. The Star Vipers
I'm thinking of the one that's the bomber/fighter that walks on its wings.
That's Vulture.
Oh, that's a Vulture?
Yeah. It's a starfighter. that the Vulture is a starfighter. There can be a bomb variant, but yeah, that's
Can
technically a
I?
droid.
I won't. I know.
Yeah, but yeah,
Sorry about
Rory
that.
can just have a field day of I can make all these droids. If he has the proper technology, admittedly, but yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. So they traded with the Star Syndicate. Got it.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. That's where I got that APC too. Just got it repaired before I moved out here.
Nice. You know, today's turning out to be a good day.
And then you see Dimitri's
I
mansion.
certainly hope so. It looks like we're going to be getting our home back.
Hypothetically. And actually, there's actually, I don't know if Rory, no, well, knowledge check didn't know, see if Rory knows about the fact that what the Dark Troopers are. I know that's a stretch, but I'm like, it's
Um,
That
kind
has
of
not been
older
explained
technology.
yet. So
Dimitri hasn't given his scout briefing yet.
True.
But in terms of if you want to roll to know what they are, do you have a reason how Rory might know? Because off the top of my head, nothing in his background would be indicative of how he would know about the Archammer or the Dark Trooper project.
Yeah, the Dark Trooper project I wouldn't think of. Yeah, honestly, it's most likely he doesn't know about it.
there's only two people I think who would be able to even make that role, and that is Sky and Crow.
Yeah, even Crow. Well, yeah, technically, yeah, Crow can make it. Never mind.
Actually, no, because of Dimitri's background, theoretically, with some stupidly high role he might be in, he might know for some weird reason.
Well, you were trained in like pathfinding and as a basic soldier.
This was more high-end military.
That's why I said for some weird reason he might know something like rumors or overhearing commanding officers.
I don't know.
But he wouldn't have concrete information like what you're asking for.
Yeah, fair enough.
And like I said, that would be like an impossible role.
Yeah.
I don't see me making an impossible role off of anything that isn't my searching skills.
Yeah. The only reason I asked because it's like, wait, the Dark One, because me personally, I know those are Phase 1. And the Phase 1 was purely robotic. And the great thing about robots can be hacked, hypothetically.
Hypothetically, yeah.
Hypothetically. I'm just coming up with different ideas.
Yeah, not a problem.
And
Ideal way.
And as said, the whole Baton bombing incident that I got from Thrawn last night. Not pretty, but could also
last
work.
night?
I've been listening to the Thrawn audiobook.
Wait, EU or new EU?
New EU. I did read about him in the old extended universe, but what current lore is saying. Quite
hey,
fascinating.
At least they kept Thrawn around.
This is true. Getting rid of Thrawn would have been a grave disservice and one of the biggest shots in the foot. But yeah, one thing that had happened at what is Baton, the creeping pad or something like that. Essentially, some resurgents were hiding behind from the Empire behind a shield generator. You know, classic. You can't bomb them and all this stuff. Blah blah blah. And since Throne was in charge, he wanted to minimize civilian casualties, so they couldn't just rush in guns blazing. Well, there was a covert team of two Imperial affiliated members. One was an ISB agent, one was a governor, trying to get her parents out. Long story short, the ISB agent got killed, but not before he had set up some bombs on a supply cache of explosives as well as the shield generator, and putting it to a comlink. Essentially, it was we would still require a lot of explosives. Never mind. I thought I was being clever, but then I was like, wait. They would need explosives at first anyway. Curses. Oh well. All I can think of now is the mines that they already have out there. We could hypothetically do something with that.
Yeah, right now, they are being suppressed by jamming is the current thought, but Kresh doesn't actually know the methods.
So,
also, Dimitri, by the way, you notice that Gin is not here.
that's fine. I was going to go towards Koresh after Crow said just wait around until the command meeting happens. Which would involve me talking to... Crap, what was her name? I can't remember it off my head.
Ishra?
No. Not Ishnar. The guard that he fought.
Talking about this person?
Yep.
Yep, that's Yasna.
I go over to Yasna since Crow wants to be left alone. Until the command meeting, because I think that's Crow's doing Crow things. And I would put the Banshee over there.
You should have control over the Banshee. There we go.
Just go, hi guys. Hey Rory. I have a job for you.
Depends on what it is.
Points at the very heavily damaged Banshee. Reality, it's only light damage. But still.
What did you do?
Let's just say like 200 kilometers away, Patrol decided to shoot missiles at us. We only lost one Banshee, and this one's heavily damaged.
Like, he goes back and forth between trying to say something to you and just like...
It was not my idea, but I take responsibility for it. Trust me, I have to go build a new one. You understand what I just said, right, Rory?
Actually, I have a question. How do you know you're supposed to build a new one?
You missed the exchange
Crow...
between him and Crow when Crow walked by and did the head count?
Yeah, I did explicitly talk to Crow and then came over here.
Okay,
After telling Hash to go find Sky and be band-aided. Assuming that Hash would listen.
I say you keep what you kill and replace what you break.
So sometimes I get uncertain as to what's said in character and what's not. These Satal are setting up tents.
Just okay.
Can you show me how you fix this? Because like I said, I have to build one.
Yeah, sure. I guess. Might as well.
By the way, I might enlist your help for that. Just saying.
That's cheating.
What, enlisting technical help?
Yep.
How is that cheating?
You have to do it, and those who were involved. After talking to your people and discovering that they were not involved, you get to...
So me and Hash have to rebuild it.
Yep.
Because Hash decided to do something and Dimitri decided not to let her die.
I have to get permission from her boss to let me enact said punishment on her, but yes. The two of you and the manual.
Because